Have you ever felt that knot in your stomach when you look at your bank account? If so, you are definitely in the right place. We're about to dive into a totally different way of thinking about money, one that's less about stress and more about compassion. Let's get right into it. That feeling of being completely overwhelmed by your finances, it is so common. That whole cycle of spending, then feeling guilty, then feeling stressed. So many of us get stuck right there. But the good news is, you're not alone in this, and there is a way out. So, what if we just threw out the old, harsh rulebook? Let's explore a new kind of framework, one that isn't about judgment or making you feel bad, but about support and actually understanding yourself. A gentler way. Let's get right to the heart of it. The reason you're here is because you're ready for a change. You're ready to get more honest with yourself, more aware of your habits, and ultimately way more confident with your money. And that's exactly what we're going to start building. And this part is the absolute foundation of everything we're talking about. So let's make a deal right now. No more shame for past mistakes, zero pressure to get it all right immediately, and absolutely no expectation of being perfect. This is a judgment-free zone, period. Okay, so where does this whole problem even begin? Well, it's usually not in our bank accounts. It's in our heads. It's all about how we react to our money, on an emotional level.
Does this little cycle look familiar to you? It all starts with a feeling. Maybe it's stress, maybe it's boredom, you name it. And that feeling leads to an impulse buy. Then, of course, comes the guilt, which, yep, you guessed it, often becomes the next emotional trigger. It's this vicious cycle, and our first job is to figure out how to break it.
So how do we actually break that cycle? This is where we see a huge split from all the traditional tough love financial advice. We're ditching that harsh boot camp model and moving towards something much more sustainable. This slide just lays it all out so perfectly. Look at the old way. Pressure, perfection, restriction. That's just a recipe for burnout, right? Now look at the new way. We're swapping out pressure for pausing. We're trading perfection for awareness and restriction for intention. This isn't just a different tactic, it's a completely different philosophy. And this is the core idea right here. We're not doing any more grueling budgeting boot camps. Instead, we're building clarity. It's about understanding why you spend your money so you can start making choices that actually line up with what you truly want out of life. Okay, so if we're building clarity, what's our main tool going to be? Well, it's something incredibly simple, but honestly, it's profoundly powerful. Let's talk about the pause. I want you to forget about complicated spreadsheets and apps for a second. Real control comes from this simple idea. We're going to take it back one pause at a time. It's all about creating these tiny little moments of awareness for yourself. So what is this pause we're talking about? It's really as simple as it sounds. It's just a breath. It's that tiny moment of awareness that you create between the impulse to do something and the action of actually doing it. That little pocket of time, that's where all the magic happens. And the whole purpose of creating that space is huge. It's where you stop living on autopilot, just reacting to a trigger, and instead you give yourself the chance to consciously respond. That single shift from reacting to responding changes absolutely everything. So what starts to happen when you really begin to use that pause? Well, you begin this whole new journey. A journey from mindless impulse to intentional awareness. Okay, so here's how it actually works in practice. Number 1, you just notice the trigger, that, I need this right now feeling. Number 2, you take a breath. That's it, that's your pause. 3, you let a little awareness come in. Just ask yourself, wait, why do I want this? And finally, number 4, you respond with intention. You consciously make the choice, whatever it is. By repeating this simple process, you really do fundamentally change your relationship with money. You're no longer a passenger just being driven around by your impulses. You're in the driver's seat, making conscious, intentional decisions. So, where on earth do you begin? The absolute beauty of this approach is that it starts small and it never, ever demands perfection. So let's talk about what your first gentle step can be. And please, remember that core promise we made. This is not another thing to add to your to-do list to stress you out. Every idea here is a tool that's meant to support you, not to overwhelm you. This is a journey of awareness. It's not a race to the finish line. Okay, let's boil it all down to the absolute essentials. First, and most importantly, You do not need to be perfect. Second, just start by noticing your triggers. That's it. Third, remember, the pause is your superpower. And fourth, it's the small, aware decisions that build real, lasting confidence over time. And that's really the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? The confident, calm, and in control person you want to be with your finances, well, they aren't born from some massive, dramatic overhaul. They are built one small, gentle, and intentional decision at a time. And your journey starts right now.